Hello and welcome back to the Matchup All Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is the 5th of March and we are playing in the casual lobby Genteki.net. We're playing next, and I'll talk about this in a second, but I think we can do better than this. This hand's actually not that bad, but we don't have an agenda to rush. No, let's keep this. So currently on March 5th, the datapack datalist complex isn't on Genteki.net just yet, so nothing's automated. A lot of the cards don't exist there yet, so we can't actually rush off and play any of the cool new stuff, which we're just gonna play this for now. So we gotta put these two pieces of ice down. I think this is an ice that's good to rush behind, but I think actually putting this on HQ, because you can't actually rush through this, they can click through this. We want to protect HQ because we do have, holy shit. We want this on a remote because we're going to rush to that, and then we're done, and we draw up. Oh, we meant to click on this. Oops. Okay. Best of luck. Have fun. So, this is Next King of England version of 11, and this is made by somebody called Magicot. Could be Magico. Maybe. And they've been making Next King of England decks, which are Grail Next design decks. They've been making them all the way since 2014, which is kind of funny. Well, not funny. It's kind of really impressive that they've just been sticking with this. I think we want to get this up so it's good to go. Kim probably wants to make accesses, so we probably should ice everything up. And hopefully we don't actually res anything, because we want to play this restructure. So maybe we won't res anything. We'll see. So the thing with Next Design is running 20 pieces of ice, so you can just fire every single accelerated beta test in the whole game, and you'll probably hit something good. And you just want to rush out, because this deck has no way of winning besides rushing out, because the only defensive thing it has is Sandberg, and that only works so well. So we really have to go fast, and this opening isn't that fast right now, but getting money is also pretty good too, so we'll see what they do. Yeah, so Daedalus Complex, cards aren't automated, so we're not going to play any mod, we're not going to play anything like this. I'm actually not going to res here, just because I want them to run later on, and then this actually will fire. They could lose their whole turn here, but the chance of them hitting the restructure is 1 in 3. If they hit the jacks and trash it, fine. I'll put them on 2 credits, and that's kind of hard to deal with. So they're not running, so we want them to run R&D and HQ, and we can hit them with this. It'll basically only make them lose 3 credits and do brain damage, just because they can't pay 6. And now they're putting liberated accounts, so now running got a bunch worse for them. And let's res this Adonis, and we're good to go. And this is actually really good too. I think we want to draw up into an answer. Or actually no, we probably want money to res all these, so I think we just credit, restructure. The other option is not doing that, and then next turn getting 3 credits from this and restructuring, but I'm not actually sure we can do that. We are not rushing right now, and we probably should have mulliganed into more agendas, because we could have fired an accelerated beta test turn 1 if we got one behind that piece of ice, and that would have been really, really good. So, they also don't know we have Grail, and that's something we kind of have to keep towards our chest. Like, as soon as they've seen one of these, they know it's bad. I think we're only running one of the Lancelot, and the rest are just all Galhads and Merlin. I think we need to find an agenda to score. Melange is okay. We can draw again. Mother Goddess is really good right now, because as long as that's the only thing we res, that's a free agenda. Just because unless they're running Faust, and they could be running Faust, right? It's Anarch. But unless they're running Faust or Atman or Vamadev or something weird, it's not going to go so well. They're probably going to start checking remotes, central servers, just to get some data sucker tokens. And that's actually kind of fine. With Black Orchestra, they can break our next bronze. They can also break Fairchild, but it is pretty expensive. It's like 369 to break all of it. So that's not great. Merlin's also not so good on archives right now, but Galahad is. And if they face check into this, we'll do 4 net damage, which could be really good. However, we put this down, this is our only end the run that we have in our hand, but that's probably fine. I think we just put this on archives. We can also put one of these on another remote. I think we're all in on the scoring remote. We also probably want to protect R&D, because R&D is the place we're going to lose if we're going to lose anywhere, just because every agenda we draw, we'll dump in that server. And so far things are going okay. Being able to like secure this early Adonis. My face is too big. Give me 1 second. Securing that early Adonis does a lot for us. Okay, maybe that's more reasonable. So really hoping that they run at a time where it's bad. They have to respect, or generally people do respect Architect. I don't know how good it is to respect Architect right now, considering we don't have anything in the archives that we can bring back. Let's see if they run last click, because that could be really, really bad for them. And I think it's a huge mistake if they do it. David on the table, that's a big deal, because now Fairchild isn't going to fire. This remote server is still looking pretty sweet. And if we top deck agenda, this one's going through 100%. And it's good to get this one out early. Just so they don't play. Oh, I guess it's not implemented. The Archivist. Edward Kim could run the Archivist. 2-link is pretty good. And this is an initiative agenda. We'll see if that actually matters. I played it in a game night kit this weekend, and one player there was playing the Archivist. They were a pretty big fan of it. Don't want to res here. They actually will use all their David counters, but then it makes Mother Goddess not secure, and it makes it a code gate. So I'm actually just going to let this in. If they trash the Melange, they trash the Jackson. Either way is fine. But they got the Jackson again. They're going to afford to trash that. That's okay. They can keep running. The Melange is good now after we put this thing out. Like, we always just put the Melange on that server and then we have a choice of what we want to do. They could vamp us, or they're actually leg working. Which is interesting, right? Like, we could res here for 6, so you'd have to use 3 David tokens, and then David's off. They're going to see everything, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think we actually res this. That's fine. They can see everything. So I guess we got lucky. Because if we had agendas, we would have been scoring way faster than that. They might think we wanted to wait for the Adonis to tick out, but I don't think we would have. I think we would have just gone. They only have 1 breaker so far. So that's okay, I guess. They won't probably run HQ now anymore. They'll probably just score to another server, and we'll pull that out. And it's good to know. Good to know that we have Grail. That's, like, information's really good. Because now they can't really face check. They can always, like, if this gets trashed, it's not a big deal. But they can't face check too much. And I think we'll install advance this. And then gain a credit. Because they still can't deal with Mother Goddess. We're just winning behind Mother Goddess. It's kind of unfortunate. But that could be a real way just to close this game out. Don't res anything. And if we score this, we're on 5 points, right? We're really close to ending the game. This is next, right? You just rush. Don't res anything, just rush. They threw out an MK Ultra, so now they can deal with sentries. So we gotta be mindful of that. Another Jackson's really good, and so we can really install advance this, click for a credit. We can even double advance this, just so if we draw an agenda. Oh no, we're still good. We're still good. Oh, we could double advance this. What's the chance they can get through Mother Goddess? They need to play a Faust. And then they can get through this cheaply, so let's just keep it at 1. Yeah, that's fine. They could be playing Vamp. They have been playing a lot of money, so I want to make sure if they Vamp us, we still have at least 4. They're drawing up heavily for their answers. Inject has found them a Paperclip and a Temujin. Paperclip goes in the bin now, so they're kind of good to face check. They have all their breakers. Now it just comes down to having enough money. And they're running the server, so this is going to end the run, and then I'll throw them out. And that's upsetting. Super upsetting. And I actually don't know if we want to fire the accelerated beta test, right? Just because it'll turn our Mother Goddess off. And our Mother Goddess currently is our biggest card, because they have breaker answers to everything. They have to Parasite Sit for this. 100% they have to Parasite Sit for this. And they're running Parasite, and they're running Data Sucker. And they actually threw out a Parasite. So Parasite's their only answer to this piece of ice. So maybe we actually do fire that. Let's see what we drew. If we don't fire it, we just plug this in there. If we do fire it, we get a bunch of ice. We just strap it all on the server and we rush. So what's the chance? If they have a Parasite, they'd have to run here on Archives. Run here, or run any of the centrals, and they can get through basically all of them. So I don't know whether we should fire this or not. Because there's a chance, like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 12 pieces of ice in R&D. If we get 2, 3 pieces of ice on the server and they have to pay to break all of them, like, if we get a barrier on there, they have to pay 4 to bring up their thing, and then, like, money to break. If we get code gates on there, it's still really expensive with this thing, right? So I think we actually might just be able to fire this. Getting a bunch of next dice is good too. Score, let's fire this. And that worked out for us. That worked out for us pretty well. So this is going to go on server 1. This is also going to go on server 1. I didn't consider the ordering of that. I think this is a fine ordering. And then we'll just put this in server 1. And hopefully we win. We'll see. We didn't get more next dice, so this only is strength 2. If we could get that to strength 3, they have to boost if they're not using Parasite tokens, so that could have been sweet. But that is technically the winning agenda. They could also think that's a Jackson Howard in there, just because we did just fire an accelerated beta test, and maybe we want to be conservative about those. I think even if they run Centrals now, we can afford to res. Just because we only need 3 credits to score this out. Ideally, 5 credits so we can also res the next bronze, just to make them pay 3 more extra money. But so far this has been rushing out. This is okay. It's interesting to see this next King of England deck evolve throughout the ages, just because it used to be, oh, maybe they can do it. Okay, they can do this. That's fine. So they had the Parasite in hand, which means that we probably couldn't have got through this. Let's see if they have the money. That's the only barrier we have. So if this was a barrier, we'd actually be in a really good spot, and it's not. If that was a barrier, they'd have to pay 4, maybe 5, 6 for that. 6 credits to get through that if that was the next silver. So I think firing it was right. We're gonna see if this works. Gain a credit. Run here. We're not running Cyberdeck's Fire Suite in this. And that'd be really cool if we were. So no more action. They have to break this thing. Reveal up to 2 Grail. So they can just take 2 net damage and save themselves 3 credits, because this only breaks 2 subroutines. And they actually are going for it. That's fine. This one's also just 3 credits to break, and this one's 3 credits to break, so they're going to make it in. But they can't afford to do this every single turn, so if we just keep jamming in here, we're probably good. I don't know why they're spending a Data Sucker. Like, there's no point. This goes up to 4 strength anyways, so they're goofing that. This one also is 3 more credits. So they didn't even need that sure gamble, right? They could have just clicked for credits and got in. But I guess you want a sure gamble just to make sure you have what you need. If we get a barrier on here, basically we top deck a barrier, we're good to go. And we do, but we also need an agenda. So let's draw up with Jackson. No, let's not draw up with Jackson, because then if we draw an agenda, oh, that's also good too. This is a barrier with 3 subroutines. This is a barrier that makes everything better. I think we can afford to draw once more. Friends in High Places is cool because it brings back Melange, it brings back Adonis. It also brings back the ice they trashed. But I think we're just going to put this on top of server 1. And then next turn we'll probably, if we don't draw an agenda, we'll Friends in High Places back. The Melange or something, just because we need money. And eventually we get enough, like, next ice on here, and they don't, like, they're not just clicking for credits or farming Data Sucker tokens. I don't think we're also playing Arc Lockdown, no. So their breakers are safe. I don't know whether you should be throwing out breakers against HB. And I know Inject threw some of them out, but it's pretty risky, right? And they're drawing for cards. I guess they're looking for Cipher. They're not getting credit, so if we top deck an agenda, we're probably going to win. Running HQ here. There's only 1 card that they hit, it matters. I think, how many Jacksons are we running? We're running 3 Jacksons. And we have Friends. So if they hit the Friends, it's kind of a bummer. If they hit anything else, it doesn't matter. And they know we have 2 Merlins in here, right? Jackson Howard. I don't think they can afford to trash that now. Running last click into Ichi also would be rough. And they're running again. We could res this going down to 1 credit, and they'd have to use all their David. I don't care about that, though. Oh, they found a Friends. Fuck. Shit, okay. Got the Adonis, so we'll put that in the server if we can't. That's also good, too. Let's draw once more. Another Adonis. So we'll put that in the server, see if they run here. Out of these, I think the Merlin's the worst. I think, like, we can't afford to rest this. We really can't. And this one's good because they don't have their barrier breaker out, and this also adds end the run subroutines to anything, and I think that's okay. There's an argument for throwing out Adonis too, but if we just put that on the table, they don't have the economy just to run and trash it. Like, just as a click, we install a Naked, they'll probably trash it, which is good because it spends more money on them. Now they're running HQ, so we're definitely going to res this here. And they're going to use their David, and now they won't have an easy way to deal with this. We won't be able to res Adonis, but that's okay. We just basically turned off most of their Temujin. Unless they want to run first click and just click, click, click through that. It also gives us a good place to put the next bronze. Just because we know 100% they're going to res this. Oh, if this thing in the server was a Melange, we'd be so good. We'd be so good. They might run R&D here. I think running R&D makes sense with 1 credit. It'd make a lot of sense, unless this is like an assembly lines in server 1 and we res a Galahad. So 1 credit short of doing something really bad here. They're accessing archives. One thing to understand about Edward Kim is if he accesses an operation in archives, it turns off his ability, just like anything else. And what are they doing here? They're actually breaking this? Seems really expensive and not worth it. No worries. I think they're running R&D. So this is only going to get harder the longer we go. We don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of anything. Again, we can't res any of this stuff. This stuff's really expensive. And we're probably going to have to purge at some point once we have enough money to res all our ice. Just because Data Sucker tokens are at a huge premium considering both Parasite and the fact that they're running these breakers, which are super expensive to pump and use. All right, we don't know what they saw. It's a Sandberg. They didn't trash that, and I don't think that's unreasonable considering we literally have no money. I think we just need to click for credits here. And I think the Merlin's still the worst card, because net damage really doesn't matter as a subroutine if they're trying to get into the server not to lose the game. I don't think, at least. And this ends the run, which adds a valuable subroutine to down these next. And this is also really good, because it'll make this 3 strength, which makes this need a... It's just good. It's just pretty good. At 4 credits, we can only res Archives Ice, and hopefully they run Archives at some point. They also could run HQ and click through here, but they know 2 or 3 cards, or they think they do, at least, because we've thrown them out. So I don't know if they're going to run. They'll probably just run R&D. If they get down to medium and run R&D, they seem to be in a good spot. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Again, the longer the game goes, I think the worse it's going to get for us. We are able to res our Adonis, so even if they run Archives, we got to do the math whether resing a Galahad is any good. And I don't think resing this Galahad is good anymore, considering that we threw out our 2 Merlins. So maybe we goofed that. I'm not entirely sure. They are using an I've had worse, though, so... That damage seems a bit better. So another line of play is get enough money, protect the Sandberg with a next bronze, and then just kind of go. I think also protecting a next bronze onto an Adonis campaign is probably fine too. Because if they res it, we get another next ice, and that's good. And if they don't res it, we get money. So they're going to go instant parasite this. That's fine. Ish. That's ish fine. There was no point purging there because they could have just got in anyways, and they're going to make 8 credits off this turn and get 2 accesses. It's okay. I guess now we have to put our next bronze on HQ, and that'll actually do pretty well. Like, they'll break for 3, maybe even more. Then maybe break this for 3 in a Data Sucker. So just 3 to get 1, that's fine. And now they trash Jackson the second time through. Oh, fuck. Shit. Well, we forgot to res this. Let's see if they care. Do you mind? So we've got a Resident Adonis in server 1 in theory. Oh, thank you. Counter 9. So you can fix this with commands. 1, 2, 3. So we can put a card. We want to put a piece of ice on HQ. Putting this Adonis down is not that great. And we also probably want to draw up once. They can trash that, but it makes it harder, like less likely for them to hit this agenda. We're going to click for credit for the last one. And once we got enough money up, we can maybe lock them out with Sandberg, but we definitely need a piece of ice on HQ just so they don't get 8 free credits. 4 credits also, they might be scared to run R&D just because we can hit them with an Architect, and Architect looks pretty good now considering we have 2 Jacksons in the bin. So we'll see. Deja Vu is probably coming back for Parasite. Yeah, it's a Parasite and another Parasite. So now without Cipher, our basic goal here is actually just to lock all central remotes. All central servers and just not let them farm Data Suckers. Also, they have 4MU now without a console, so they can actually, if they install another thing, it's going to be bad for them. And they're putting this on here early. I don't see the point of that unless they're going to run it a bit. It is expensive. It is. I think maybe they're saying if they can run this Adonis server, but there's no chance. Like, now they've kind of overextended on the Parasite. We could probably just put this thing in here, the accelerated beta test, and win the game. Running here, if we res this, we deny them a Parasite Data Sucker token. It's only going to end the run twice. So this is interesting. I think we do res this. I think we do. If we show him a trash or something like that, it could have been really sweet, but I guess that's that. Go away. Get out of our servers. Stop it with that Data Sucker. Uh-oh. Nothing to show. So just an end the run. That was the argument for keeping the Merlins. We're going to get 5 credits here. They're going to have... This is going to need another Data Sucker token to get through. So they're going to have to run one of these centrals. We need 5 credits. We actually, in theory, want 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 credits. So maybe we shouldn't res that. So that's 5, right? So in theory, we could just plug this in. credit. Then we can res this for 3. They have to deal with this by pulling their breaker in. If we res this 3, we res this 2, we score this 3, or score the ABT, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we will have 7 credits. Oh, thanks. So let's see. What do we do about that? What do we do? We could also put this in the server, but that doesn't do anything right now. It really doesn't. I think actually we're at a point, like they went too low on credits. They went too low on credits. I think we can push this just because these are going to be really hard to break. These are going to be 3 credits a piece. So I think we can get through even if we don't have all this like ridiculous ice. So put those in server 1. They're going to like want to run HQ as many times as possible. And this is only makes them 1 credit in data sucker token. I think we do want to click up to at least 1 more credit so we can afford to res this and this. Let's try and click up everything. Even if we don't score this in 1 turn, maybe we can score this in 2 turns. So we'll see if we need to. But yeah, we're pushing it pretty fast. They really need that cipher. I'm assuming they're running a cipher. We haven't seen a console yet. We're about only 20 cards left in the stack. They could also like just try and win off R&D with a medium, and it's not unlikely to win. We can't really afford to res any of this stuff. I guess we would res a Fairchild, and that might hurt. Like if they run into that first click, we'll definitely res this. And then just wait the next turn to score out the ABT. Because they'll have to click through this, otherwise their board state gets wrecked. I guess they throw out 1 David, but then they'll lose 3 credits, which they can't. So this could be good. We'll see. We'll see what they're doing here. They understand that this is probably an agenda. So they're drawing up for an answer. Click for a credit. Click for a credit, and that'll do it. They just went too low on money, and if you ever go too low on money, oh, they're running Obelisk. If they're running too low on money, this is always going to sneak out. Good game. And let's fire this. Put this on R&D. Put this on HQ. And that's how good the ABTs always fire them in next. You're playing 20 pieces of ice. Why not? Thanks for the game. So this deck doesn't run that much economy compared to like Engineering the Future, which gets a credit obviously for every time they install a card, once per turn at least. And this is cool because you just save all the money on the accelerated beta tests. Like if the accelerated beta tests fire, you generally get like 9 to 10 credits almost regularly based off of install costs and the average res cost of cards in your deck. I think that's pretty interesting. Let's res all. So that's actually pretty interesting. This is one of the 3. I think I can play 3 different Next decks. This is Next King of England, which has been going on since 2014. I'm also going to run on this channel Motel 6. We're going to try Cleared for Takeoff, which is also very interesting. So we're going to try them all out, see how we find each little flavor of Next, because they're doing pretty well currently in the meta. They're actually winning store champs and stuff like that, so I think that's pretty exciting. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. We have videos every night, every weekday night, and Eastern 8:45 Thursday. Oh, that's bad. Live stream. Ciao.